Hello. Looks like I'm working. Okay. Hopefully this is all going to go better tonight. Last week I had issues with the camera and it actually took me quite a while to to get it figured out. So I'm glad it's looking good. Um, Let me see here. Okay. So if you're here, make sure that you throw a comment in that you're here and say hello. I love to know that I'm talking to somebody live, although I also really appreciate all of my viewers, whether you're live or catching me on the replay here on Facebook or on YouTube. So thank you. Just a few things that I want to talk about. I guess I should do my introduction. So my name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and my business is CJ Card Creations. So if you have found me, I'm hoping that I am live on my business page. I also have a group, CJ Card Stampers group, that is more lots of people post and share ideas and projects and just kind of get to hang out and be friends with people that are similar in crafting ideas. So hopefully you'll join us over there too. And after the video, I will put up links for everything that I'm talking about. So I do have a class in person coming up on May 16th, and that's here at my house. That's a Monday night at 6. Hey, Mom, thanks for being here. Trying to think what else might be going on. Oh, well, thank you for the reminder. Yes, definitely sharing is one way to show the love. And if you do share my broadcast, then please also comment in the comments to this video that you shared so that I can enter you for my drawing. So, let's see. Told you about my class. The retiring list is still going on. Theoretically, things are going to be available through May 2nd, which is the end of the current catalog, although I know a lot of things have sold out already. And the new catalog starts on May 3rd, and so I have had very little time to play with any of the new things, but I did get a second pre-order, so I'll show you a couple of those items. And then I am doing an In Color Club, which is a club where for 5 months you're committed. You do, it'll be May through September, and each month you'll get all of the products that go with a specific in color. So by the end of the club, you will have everything with all 5 in colors. So that's a great way to build your collection without breaking the bank. So also I'm doing product shares so you can get ribbon and designer series paper, and you get everything that's new in the new catalog, but a smaller portion of it, so the cost is much lower. So there will be links to both of those in the description of this video afterwards, and those end May 2nd as well. And I think the only other thing is Paper Pumpkin, and that's actually what we're talking about tonight anyway. So I'm going to switch the view here and we can get going on more of the fun stuff. So first, actually, this came yesterday and it says you're invited, and it is to Stampin' Up's Backstage. So this is for leaders only, Silver Elite and above, and I did attain Silver Elite, I think in December. And it's really, I feel very honored that I am blessed with customers and a team who have facilitated me reaching this level of leadership within the Stampin' Up! Company. And so I am delighted that I'm going to get to go to New Orleans in August. Not necessarily the best timing, but I think the convention is worth it and will be a lot of learning experiences and networking with other demonstrators. So thank you all for helping me get there. And then I mentioned getting entered in for prizes for sharing. And Susan, you actually won this week. So you will be getting a pack of the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, which are retiring, which makes me really sad because they're beautiful blues and green and red and yellow. So I have used these a lot over the, I don't know, I think year and a half that we've had those. So I hope you will enjoy those. And then tonight I'm actually doing the April Paper Pumpkin, which the subscription period has ended. So if you missed out on that one, I'm sorry, but I am going to show you what is in the standard paper pumpkin so that um, why it's something that you want to sign up for. In the April kit, this flyer was there, and so it is actually talking about the May paper pumpkin, which is called Celebrating in Color, and it features all 5 of the new in colors that are going live on May 3rd. And it also has an opportunity to win $25 in US dollars in product from Stampin' Up. So everybody who orders a kit may receive a golden voucher. I think they said, I don't know, my numbers could be wrong, but I feel like they said 200 chances to win. And let's see, the subscription closes May 10th, and the kit makes 10 cards and also coordinating gift card holders. So I think that this is a great opportunity to play with the new colors and kind of see which one's your favorite and how you're going to enjoy it all. Moving on to, oh, actually, I was going to show you a couple things. So these Opal Rounds are the current in colors. So let's see, pale papaya, fresh freesia, polished pink, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. And these are so pretty. I can't wait to start using them. So they come in 2 sizes, and they just have a little bit of glitter inside the round, and just the colors are gorgeous. So those are fantastic. And then these glossy dots are coming. And they never say what the colors are. So I don't know. This might be the new in colors. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. Regardless, they're really, really pretty. And so that will be fun. And then these are matte dots that are in the in colors. And they come in 2 sizes as well and just look like they will be really good to play with. And then finally, these rustic metallic adhesive dots. I think they're part of a suite that's more man focused, but these look just really nice. I think they'll be good for a lot of different things as well. And then my twine came. So you get a bolt in each of the in colors mixed with white, and I think these are really pretty. Twine is always my very, very favorite choice for ribbon because it's just so much friendlier. It's flatter, ties easier. So anyway, that's going to be a good product. All right. So if you haven't gotten Paper Pumpkin before, ever, or recently, let me just talk you through it. Every kit comes with an embellishment, whether it's this kind of thing or ribbon. And these are we have the faux glass that's similar, but these are opalescent kind of looking, and they are so pretty. And then it includes an exclusive stamp set, and you can tell that mine is all sorts of stained already. And then it includes either glue dots or dimensionals. So these are always really handy. And then you get all the pre-cut card bases and die cuts and instructions. So this is the instructions for this month, and I was really impressed. It's 2 kind of fun folds, and then this one was really clever as well, even though it's a standard fold. So let me show you those before we get going on what I then spun off. So, and you can see the envelopes are, I think they're actually printed, not lined. Yeah, so they are gorgeous. And this card has little caterpillar, and then you open it up and you see the chrysalis and then the butterfly. And just really pretty imagery, beautiful colors. It also includes an ink spot, and this month's was Melon Mambo. So then you flip this over and you can stamp it again and have space to write. So that was the first one. And then this is the second one. And I don't know if it shows up very well, but those faux glass pieces are right there. And then it shows kind of going from the stem through the bud and all the way to the flowers. And I really like this flower. I'm not quite sure what it is, but then same thing, flip it over, you've got space to write. So, and then its envelope is gorgeous as well. And last, so this card base, it starts out just, you know, kind of the black, but they had punched or perforated all the stars and the moons, and then you add the clouds and the star and the embellishments, and then it opens up and it's got the sun. Every day is a new day. So I really like the way they did the imagery and then also the sentiment that they planned to go with it. So very neat card. I'm excited to send that one. And let me just show you the die cuts as well. I accidentally punched out 2 layers on here, but this is, you get, this kit included 3 sheets of die cuts that looked like that. So just really beautiful flowers. I love the butterfly, the way it's two-toned. And then the clouds for the night sky were cool too. So, whoops, what I'm gonna do is bring in the 3 alternates that I made today, because of course it was today. It was not very well planned out ahead of time, but we got it done. So this was where I started. I cut off, let me see which one. So I took this card base and then I just cut off the 2 smaller panels and stamped a couple of times. Don't anybody comment that my butterfly is upside down, because I was really annoyed with myself. And then added, I cut a strip off of what I had cut off to get this yellow paper, because part of my thinking today was that I didn't want to add a whole bunch of product that subscribers wouldn't necessarily have. So then I just stamped upside down again, you know, my little butterfly. Hopefully whoever receives this card isn't going to notice that. And then I took this card base and did the same thing. Oh, I've got angry kids upstairs. And I actually trimmed this one down to, because it started off as 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I cut off a 1/4 inch each way. And then just saved a strip of that to put under my sentiment, added the butterfly and a couple of the faux glass pieces, and then came inside and added another bit of the polka dot paper and a butterfly stamp. So that's that one. And then once I had done all of that, I had several pieces left over. And so I brought in a black card base and the strips and just angle cut and banner cut, stamped and added some die cuts, and then I pulled over the banner cut to the inside as well. So those were my projects with this. So I am just quickly going to show you how to do this one. And I actually didn't change up the night sky at all, because like I said, I just really liked that one. Oh, I'm glad you like these. And also I was less sure about how to do it successfully because of the stars and the moon cutouts from the card base. So I am just going to start by cutting off these 2 pieces. So you can see they are, I think that's Bermuda Bay. The instructions always list the colors, but I didn't actually look. Yep, Bermuda Bay, and then there's also some balmy blue, crushed curry, evening evergreen, granny apple green, and then the melon mambo. So lots of good colors. Now that I have gotten this piece, I am going to trim off 1/4 inch right here. And so I'm using this side for anything less than an inch. So there is my 1/4 inch. and I will save this bit for under the banner. And then I think I'm gonna cut this side down. All right, so another 1/4 of an inch off. Seems so small. I don't know why it looks smaller than normal. Okay, I now have a basic white thick card base. So it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold this and burnish that line. And this I adhered directly to the card base. So just gonna bring in some, oh, that bubbled, some liquid glue and get this adhered. There we go. Now the next thing is finding the die cuts that I had used. So I am going to add that butterfly, and then I need the banner. So we'll use this, and then just one of these strips, and I think that's going to be everything. So to start with stamping, I am going to bring in the Beautiful Things Take Time sentiment. And the way I like to do photopolymer sentiments is line them up stamping side down on my grid paper to make sure that they're straight. And then I bring in, I have several different brands of blocks. Some of them have the grid lines, and so I just bring that in and line it up with the grid lines on the paper. And now I will bring in my ink pad, and I actually chose not to use the ink spot just because I already had Melon Mambo right there. So I'm also going to put my little banner straight on my grid paper so that I can try to make sure that everything comes out straight. And I think that looks pretty good. I don't know if it's my internet that seems to be glitching. I hope that everything is showing up okay for you, and hopefully the recording won't have glitchy bits. I don't know. There are days where I feel like our internet is not worth anything, and then other times it works fine. So the joys of technology. All right, there's my little butterfly, and now I am just going to run a little bit of glue. Oh, and you know what? I flipped my sentiment this time, but hopefully that will not really matter. So I'm just going to put a little glue here and add this so that hopefully it looks straight. So we will slide that up a little bit. Okay, and then I think right about there, but I'm not going to trim this until I'm actually adhered. And I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals as well. But I didn't want to go too far with the glue, so I ended up not going far enough. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. And then we'll get a couple of dimensionals here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And get rid of those. Flip this over. And I think right about there should do it. So now I'll just bring in my snips. I don't know, now that looks really crooked to me. I think things moved after I set them down. Can't possibly be my fault. There we go, that's better. Okay, come and just snip this off flush with the card base. And So the last thing that I need to do then is just bring in one more bit of the Bermuda Bay polka dot pattern, and that what I used on the inside is 1 inch wide. One thing I love about our grid paper is that it also is a ruler. So when I can't dig out my regular ruler, it's nice to have that right there. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to the inch mark, and again, I'll just trim off the whatever's excess, if there is any. And just get a little more glue here. And I'm pretty sure that I stamped a butterfly on the inside of the first one as well. So do that again. Get this nice and straight. And it is just a hair over the end of the card base. So I'll fix that here in just a second. I'm going to clean this stamp before I put it back. And then we'll get out our cute little butterfly. This also includes a caterpillar stamp, and you can tell that's the only one I haven't inked because I'm not really a fan of creepy crawly things, to be honest. So we'll just stick to the pretty parts. Not worry so much about that caterpillar. But I do think that you could do some awesome things with sponge daubers and giving it different colors across the length of it. So there is that little butterfly, and that is just about it. We will add a few of the faux glass shapes, and I think we can call it a night. So this one is a little bit shorter than my normal lives, but I just, like I said, didn't want to make this more complicated than might be enjoyable for all of my viewers. So I'm going to use, this is my take your pick tool, and I'm going to take the putty tip, if I can get the cap off, and I actually need some new putty, so I will show you how this works. So you twist this in, and there is just putty inside the cap until it's all the way screwed down, and then you get a new one. But as you can see, hopefully, I don't know, it's pushing out. So now that I've got as much as I want, I'm going to loosen this so that it doesn't push out anymore. And then I'm going to squish this down just a little bit. And now I have a nice tip to pick up these little shapes. So I like to do things in threes and kind of a triangular fashion. Maybe we'll go for a flower center this time. I think that'll work. So that is really it. And then with the remaining pieces that are left over, of course, you can do all sorts of things with that flower or just the black polka dot pattern. So I feel like these card bases are really versatile, even though as you initially look at them, they do seem, you know, printed with a chrysalis is fairly specific, but I loved the way the crushed curry blended into the melon mambo. So let me bring back in all of the cards so that you can see both what's included in the kit and what I came up with. And get my trash out of here. I think I say this every week, but I was working today on cleaning my office and of course didn't finish, but it is at least in a better state than it was before, although of course now I have lost the other two cards that I made. And I actually did not throw those on the floor like I throw a lot of things. So let's see, here we go. Okay, so that think they're all in the screen. So that is this April Changes Beautiful paper pumpkin kit. So I ended up really loving it, even though I was not totally sure when they first started marketing it. So I hope that you find that you love it as well. If you end up with some different variations of your own, I would love to see those over in the CJ Card Stampers group. And please remember to like and share if you need to order any products or if you would like to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. All of the links will be added to the description of this here in just a couple of minutes. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed them, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.